Hello everybody, this is going to be another axe video. I haven't done one in a while, and I appreciate all my subscribers and all the interest in axes. So I'm going to do a different one here. I've got a bunch of axes that I need to haft, and I'm interested mostly in user axes. What I thought I'd do is go through a bunch of them and one at a time, and just tell you guys what I like about them, what I don't like about the individual axes, and why I bought them. And that way any beginners looking for an old axe maybe get some pointers on what is a good axe and what isn't a good axe. This is one of my boxes. I've got maybe 30 or 40. I want to do probably split this up into several videos, just maybe 8 or 10 axes at a time to keep the video short and interesting as possible. So we'll start with the first axe here in just a moment. Okay, this axe is not marked. I don't know who made it. I just like the phantom bevels on this. It's old. It's not a Kelly Perfect, I don't think. It's you can see it's angled in like this, forged out. Another thing about this axe, you see the pitting here, a little smoother here, and you can see this line right here. This is an old overcoat axe. Actually, this line goes back this way. This harder steel was forge welded to the softer steel back here. So that's an old style of making axes, probably pre-World War II. Although one company at least went to 1965, Emerson and Stevens, making axes that way, but for the most part before World War II this way of making axes was abandoned. So I bought it just because of that. It has some mushrooming, which I don't like, but that's the way it goes sometimes. You have to put up with that. This can be smoothed off, ground or filed off. A little bit of hammering here, but it's got a nice full bit. You know, for an old axe, this hasn't been used much as far as cutting. So that's why I bought that one. This one I found locally. I just paid a couple dollars for it. You can see it's really badly pitted. The edge is pretty bad too. I'm going to just have this for a wall hanger. Could fix it up and use it, but I just like the Kelly handmade embossing here, and it only cost me a couple dollars. It's really, for me, it's not worth fixing up. I've got nicer axes, but still it looks nice. It looked good on the garage wall. Here's another one I bought locally. This is a cruiser, and cruisers are not easy to find. I bought it I think for a couple bucks. You know, cruisers are only about 8.5 inches usually. Got a small eye, 2-inch eye. That's important because a lot of these small axes are 8 inches are actually ground down full-size double bits, and you don't want that. It's got ridges in here inside this eye here. That's probably means it's a Kelly wood slasher, probably from the 1960s. You can see it's all rusty, but this will clean up nice. It's really been very little used, so I'm looking forward to putting that one together. Here's another one I bought just because of the interesting bevels here. It's got a 2 stamped on here for 2 pounds, although it's actually 2 1/4 pounds. It's a boy's axe, but I like the looks of it. Really nice full bit, not worn at all. Not marked again. I like buying axes that really aren't marked, because if they're marked with the company name, they're usually more expensive. And all these axes, I try to limit myself on eBay to less than $20, including shipping. Actually, I'm not buying any right now. I got so many to do. But that was my goal on most of these, is less than $20, which I know I paid less than that. just because it's not marked with company name, but it's a very nice axe. Here's one here that it's marked. This is a Collins Legitimus. That would be pre-World War II. It's just a nice single bit, 3.5 pounds. It's worn down just a bit here. See, here, it's probably down an eighth of an inch, or maybe even up to a 1/4 inch. Not too bad. It's not mushroom too bad. A little bit of damage right here that can be filed off, but it's a nice one that you know, will fix up really good. Might have to reprofile it just a bit because of the worn toe up here. This was an interesting one I bought. It's only 1 3/4 pounds. It's marked William Beatty and Sons, Chester, Pennsylvania. They have a bovine stamp up here. Very, very rare to find one in this size, 1 3/4 pounds. You don't see those too often. It's getting down to like a Hudson Bay size axe, but this is a regular hatchet style. But it's bigger than a hatchet. Hatchets are 1 1/4 pounds. This is 1 3/4 pounds. I'm looking for a handle for it now. I'm not sure what I'll use. I'd like, you know, 20 or 22. Make a camp axe out of it. I do have a 16-inch hammer handle axe eye that'll work, but it's really good shape. It's worn down just a bit on the toe here. Actually, maybe eighth of an inch here. It's very dull here, a little sharper here. So it's been used. It's been filed down a little bit, but not hammered on too much. Here's one that's not marked. It's just a single bit, I think a main wedge pattern. Main axes often have these numbers in the center, although other axes do too, but this is like a characteristic of a lot of main axes. So and it's just got a little bit of convexing here. 3 1/4 pounds, that's a somewhat rare weight. Usually they're 3.5. Had some paint on it. I cleaned this up, but I couldn't get all this paint off. I started getting through the patina here, and I didn't want a shiny spot on the axe here, so I stopped for now. But we're going to try to clean it up some more. A little bit worn down here again on the toe, which is common. This is where the first wear occurs on an axe, is right up here, called the toe of the axe, which is actually the top corner. But it's not too bad. Not much hammering. A little bit of hammering, but no mushrooming. Just another nice axe. I kind of like main axes. I was just enamored with them for a while, so I bought a few of them. Here's a local one that I picked up, another $2 axe that I have not cleaned up at all. But you could see this axe is really almost new as far as actual use. It's never been hammered on. It's still really sort of sharp. You know, it's sharp. It's uniformly sharp all across the edge. You know, and a lot of people pass these up. It's too rusty, but this will clean up nice. It'll be a great axe. It's a boy's axe, small one, 2 1/4 pounds. Here's a Snow and Neely. It's written right there. It's hard to read probably on the camera, but it's a main double bit pattern, which I wanted just because I never had one. I don't find them around here, so I bought it on eBay. It's got the diamond shaped eye. They just look just like the looks of them, straight across here, beveled flat with the sharp corner here with the beveling. 3.5 pounds, stamped Snow and Neely, and mostly full bit. A little bit dull, but not worn down. Uneven. It's still pretty even. For my last one for this video is another Maine double bit. Keep it wrapped in here because unlike these other ones that I paid less than $20, this one I paid $90 for. Kind of expensive, but it's Emerson and Stevens Maine double bit. Never been used. 35, that means 1935, that's when this was made. It has been sharpened a little bit with a stone, a couple chips here, but those chips don't matter, they're moon shaped. It's just very acute point there, so until you get the proper bevel, you might get a little chipping on these old axes. But paid $90, that's a lot, but you think about it, you know, you buy a Swedish axe for $150, really is $90 for something like this out of line? I don't think so. Glad I got it. So that's about it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to try to do more of these. Take care.